Hello, Shane. How's it going?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm really good, man. I'm really good. Hot, hot as heck outside. I'm in Pensacola, Florida. I know it's hot there as well. Very humid.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, man. Can you tell us your first and last name and the name of the academy?
My name's Shane Weinischke. I own Black Tie Tallahassee, also Weinischke Martial Arts.
Okay, and so the location is Tallahassee, yeah. What
Tallahassee,
about
Florida.
what did you say? Tallahassee, Florida.
Tallahassee, Florida. Yes, sir.
Can you tell us like give us an overview of the classes you guys offer?
We train Monday through Sunday, so 11 a.m. has been an ongoing thing for as long as we've been open. So Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. Monday through Thursday, we have a 10 a.m. Thursday, we have a 6 a.m. Friday, Saturday, and
Okay.
Sunday is all sparring. So,
6 a.m. is very valuable, right? A lot of
yeah.
people need that.
Before they
What
go to
about the
work.
age groups? Right.
The
What about
age
the age
groups,
groups there?
man, we have 5-year-olds all the way to late 50s.
Really? Wow. You have
hmm
different classes for each age group, or I guess for the kids, right? Is that how
For the
it goes?
kids. Yeah. And then we have some of the teenagers that do the adults, train with the adults.
That's cool,
They're
man.
they're very tough, so they can keep up.
Do y'all do nogi as well?
Yes, sir. We do gi and no gi. And we have some kickboxing classes as well.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Um, what about instructors there? Is anybody like you want to highlight?
Oh yeah, man. We have a lot of cool instructors. Josh Elliott, he's teaches the Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. no gi skill acquisition class. He comes in and works on specific skills that they want to try to acquire. And Randy is a black belt who does the 6 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday, very high pace, energetic instructor. Um, yeah, very good people to have around.
Awesome. Can you start? Let's go back to as far back as you want. I want with your personal story. Start it whenever you want. I want to hear as much of a story as I can from you and about you and the academy.
Oh well, okay. So martial arts wise, you watch the old films and the Power Rangers, the Ninja Turtles, right? In
Yeah,
1991, the karate school was down the street, so I signed up there. And from
1990. How,
1991, I was
how
7
old
years
were you
old.
at that point?
7. I'm 41
Seven.
now, so yeah, it was a
Okay,
good
I'm
bit.
40. Yeah, we're almost same.
So I trained for karate for a long time and trained American Kenpo with Jack L. Morris, who's a karate Hall of Famer.
Okay.
Uh, who's when I trained at his school was actually down the street from where my school is now, which is it's kind of wild to me.
Really, really.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought to open a school down the street from where one of my first schools would have been.
That's funny. Wow. So
Mm.
are you from Tallahassee or?
Yeah, I was born here and grew up a little bit in Thomasville. It's not that far from here. It's a 30-minute drive.
Okay, cool,
So
cool, cool.
Georgia, Florida boy.
What is Kimpo? Can you tell us that? Like, it's a type of karate?
Yeah, it's American karate. Ed Parker system. He had karate black belts and said none of it would work, so he developed as best as he could for modern streets.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it, got it, got it, got it.
Yeah,
Okay. Then how did you
the
get into jujitsu?
grandfather of American karate. Jiu Jitsu, one of my karate instructors, Arthur Wynn, was just one of my best friends. He told me to lay on the ground and he wanted to get between my legs, and I thought that was very awkward. And and it just went from there. Showed me some submissions, and I was immediately hooked.
Okay, okay. And
And
it
there
was
was
it like a
no
spark where like, damn, this is like amazing. I mean, were you surprised when that happened or?
well, no. So I was surprised when I got to train it on someone who didn't know it, and then I had to call him, and I didn't understand what he had shown me because it made it so easy to deal with these people.
Oh, okay, okay. Got it, got it, got it. So
This
you
is when I
started like,
realized jujitsu is a superpower.
okay.
I called him, man. What did you show me? Did you understand? Like, this is crazy.
Did you know much about jujitsu before then or
Just
not
watched it.
really.
No, just watch the
And
UFC on a cassette VHS, and you see the guy in the gi do it, but you don't really understand it till it happens to you.
okay, okay. Um, so yeah, you knew what it could do. You just didn't understand like how fast and how easily it could happen, getting pinned and
It was
yeah,
something
submitted.
when you train a martial arts like jujitsu, and then you, let's say, fight against a an untrained person, they're like little babies,
Mm, mm,
and
mm.
they have no, um, they don't have any of the fundamentals, no balance, no base. They don't understand these things, so it's pretty easy to disrupt that. They don't understand it.
And so, how old were you at this point when you just started?
For jujitsu, I was
Mm.
19, probably 20 years old. 20. I've been doing jujitsu 20 years.
Okay, okay.
So yeah,
And at that point, were you like, okay, I'm full jujitsu now, or did you keep training, other martial arts, or what?
yeah. Actually, I thought I wasted a lot of my time for a long time with the karate and just trying to train other martial arts. I thought I did, but then later down the road, I realized I did gain a lot of benefit from training traditionally. Some things that people overlook nowadays, even for like the modern style training.
And so,
Karate is great for hand and feet coordination, and you learning like breathing and balance and base. So you learn a lot of fundamentals from a lot of these other martial arts.
okay, right, right, right. I mean, my son, he used to train in karate as well. And then we just had to kind of time-wise pick one or the other. We picked jujitsu.
Hmm.
One of the reasons why I picked jujitsu is because the social aspect. He's able to be
Hmm.
social with the other kids. Um, but yeah, man, I always thought the same. Like you get something from everything, you know.
Hmm.
I mean, if they're different enough, you're going to get something that's not necessarily in the other, you know.
Hmm.
So how did it go from there? Did you how did you progress? Did
So
you
that's
move around or did you stay in the Tallahassee
uh,
area?
so that's where it might get a little. This is the old school. This was 20 something years ago. So I went from karate to fighting professionally pretty much right away. I did a few jujitsu tournaments in 2005, and I had plenty of karate tournaments, but it's not the same. Full contact
Mm,
karate, still not the same. Then you sign
mm,
the professional contract. Okay. There was not professional in Florida back then. So no, or sorry, there was no amateur in Florida back then. So you had to fight pro.
okay.
Unless you go out of state, which probably would have been a good idea to go out of state, but the people where I was around, maybe not the best group. So you
Was
sign a
that kind of
professional
like
contract.
intimidating at first?
No, I just wanted to compete. Young and dumb. I just want to compete. And if
See
you're
what
around the
happened.
wrong people, they'll sell you out like a tomato can. So I was a tomato can for a long time. One day I'm gonna write a book like that called The Tomato Can. But
Mm-hmm.
and then I started winning fights that you're not supposed to win. It
Oh,
just kept
really?
going. Yeah, it just kept going. So probably where I was supposed to quit, like most people, I just kept going.
Okay, okay. What was it? What about it was addicting?
I mean, I'm still doing it. I don't everything. I think this is all I do. So
Is it like the adrenaline or the
no, I don't think I
like
because I don't get too
mm,
adrenaline. I don't have that issue with the adrenaline dump too much.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I've never understood the adrenaline dump too much, but
Is it
the zen the zen
is it like
moments.
when you start you kind of understand the complexity of it and it's really cool to kind of like continue to, raise
You
your
know,
skills? Is that
no, you know when your house is dirty and you clean your house, that feeling you get after this.
yeah.
All right, I like that. That's the feeling. So when I mop my mats, when I compete, it's the same thing. It's like you kind of prep everything, you get everything ready for it, you do the job, and then you can marvel at the job kind of deal. And it's like, I don't know, it's kind
Okay.
of kind of the same thing to me.
Okay, so there's so much like there's so much put into it. The technique and improving on the skill that when you're able
Fun.
to
So
take
much
a
fun.
breath,
Hmm.
it's like Wow, I understand what I just did. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
cool, cool. And when did you start teaching?
2006. I started teaching a little bit from the other school, 2006, 2007, right after I started fighting professional, because they didn't have any other fighters around this time. So they said, well, you're
Mm,
fighting professional. You might as well use that title and teach.
mm.
And then
Did you like
eventually,
teaching right away?
no, I hated it actually. I hated it. It was terrible. Terrible. Sometimes I still have a love hate relationship with it. Thank you, man. Sometimes I have terrible relationship with it, but I mean, there's no higher purpose than service to others. So I can't really, you're gonna get
Yeah.
hurt here and burned here, there. Some people I talk to all the time, like, how do you still do this after you experience this? It's like, man, you shouldn't really expect too much back. You just that's not what you're doing it for, anyways.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And did you start the academy yourself?
Yeah. The title
How did
Black
that
Tie.
go?
The title Black Tie is a team, actually. So I
Yeah.
opened World Triumph Martial Arts, is what my school was. Once the hurricane ripped my roof off, we rebranded to my last name, but no one can pronounce my last name that well. So we joined Black Tie, which is Corey Brown out of Cape Coral. And now
Okay.
black ties are kind of popping up all over the place. But very good, tough school, tough team. So we rebranded with a team now. So
Okay, cool, 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 cool. And did you say you have kickboxing there too?
yes, sir.
How does that work into everything? Does it kind of like, I mean,
It's a lot of
I'm a
different
newbie to
training.
a lot of it. Huh?
So jujitsu class could be an hour, right? A
Mhm.
lot of people think every class is going to be an hour. You're not going to do kickboxing for an hour, man. That's crazy. That's going to take a long time. And you think you're going to learn a new technique every day. It's not going to be like that. You learn the jab cross, the hook, the roundhouse kick, and you're going to work that for a few months, and the footwork and just learning how to breathe right, because you're probably going to, if you're going to do an hour class of kickboxing, you might die.
So the class is like half hour? Is that what it
Yeah.
is?
Yeah, I would say 15 to 30, 15 to
Okay,
20 minutes.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
my
got
kick,
it, got it.
we would hope the kickboxing, Justin Pickett was, he would put you in the garage and you would pray that he'd let you out at least 15 to 20 minutes. You don't want to do sprints after that.
Do the
They
kids
don't want
do
to train like that no more.
do the kids have the kickboxing as well there?
Sometimes. That's too,
Mm.
yeah, sometimes. Nobody wants to do the hard stuff. Yeah.
Okay, it depends. Yeah, if it's
Yeah.
a fit.
Yep,
Yeah, right,
that's right.
right. Um, Tell me what's been like the biggest challenge over the years as far as the academy, having the academy. What's been the biggest challenge for you?
The biggest challenge. Uh, I mean, it's the constant waves of different students. So, like right now,
Mm.
the summertime hit. Now, all my kids, I went from a 20 kid program to like half of that right now. So, I mean, that's probably the worst part. But you just kind of learn to ride those waves. I can kind of plan seasonal what we're doing, what we're not going to do.
Do a lot of the kids kind of like they drop
Summer
off, but they kind of
camps.
come back? They come back like
Oh
you
yeah,
know
sure,
a
sure,
big
sure, sure.
portion of them come back. So summer, yeah. What about
They
in Christmas time? What
so that's different every year. Every year that's a little different. One year, man, be slammed. That'll be the busiest month of the entire year. And then
really?
the next, yeah, sometimes. And then one year, it will be like slow, but we'll have a bunch of visitors coming from all over the place, which I really like that too. We'll have
Okay,
visitors
right.
from all over the place.
Okay, got it. Yeah. I mean, they're visiting family, whatnot,
Mm-hmm.
maybe vacation, who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, what about tell me what makes the place so unique? Every place has its uniqueness. What makes the place
Mm.
so unique and
I'm the
why do people
instructor,
love it so
and
much?
I do instruction and well, I don't really teach like that actually. But I'm the head coach and the janitor. So I don't think there's any school on the planet that's like that.
Okay.
That's real. But
So-
no, hmm. Uh, all my I would my students would have to answer that actually because I have the like they tell me in the Google reviews all the time, and it's a very broad. They've said a lot of things, but it's always clean here. I don't like a dirty school. I do come from like a rough style of training, but I also want professional. I was hurt professionally eventually with a nerve damage in my right hand, so I want my job as a coach is to make sure it's an effective, efficient, and safe training environment. And I don't care about you impressing me. If you want to impress me in front of some, I don't care. You're going to protect yourself, protect your partner, protect yourself. And it's going to be like this all the time. So
Okay,
that
okay.
I think that really sets us aside from, because some places I've gone to that are really clean, but man, they let the students kill each other, or they let the students kill each other. The place is really dirty. It's just like, so I have to have a good, at least balance of that.
Okay, right, right, right. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, most people are
Definitely have
going
to have
there
a
and they
clean.
have either they have so many other things in their life going on, and they're not there to get hurt. That's the last thing.
Mhm.
Have a bunch of medical bills, right?
Yeah, and it's very dangerous.
Mm.
Yeah, martial arts can be very dangerous.
Do you feel like you have to, or do you feel the necessity to kind of always remind people of that, like the of being safe,
Mhm.
because it's kind of
Yes,
like instinctual to
all
go
the
in that
time,
direction of
every
not
day.
holding back enough.
Every time before I hit the clock, I say protect yourself, protect your partner, and protect yourself. Every time for
Yeah.
18 years. Yeah.
Well, thanks, man. I understand what you're saying exactly. Yeah, I mean, even me, if I started training, which I am about to, I think that's the first thing I'm thinking of
Yeah.
is staying safe. I want to
Well,
have
so
some fun and I want to be challenged, but number one, I don't want to get myself hurt. Older,
what's you?
especially if
Yeah.
you have kids. Yeah.
Well, it's usually just like the mentality going in and what your expectations are. All you want to do is learn a little bit about yourself. That's the
Mm,
first step. Learn a little bit about yourself. Man, I did better than I thought I could. That's great. Start slow and build little, victories are great, man. And it'll pile on, keep piling on, and you'll start to feel the benefits. And I mean, that's where the real virtues come from, like resilience. Oh man, I had a hard day
mm.
today, but I'm going to go back tomorrow and retry. And then that next day you had a really good day. So it's sign of resilience there.
Yeah, that's reflective in like almost everything that's extremely hard, right? You just have to
Hmm.
keep going and just consistency is a big thing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you start to
Be
see little
consistent. Yeah.
steps.
Yeah. And be
Um,
intentional.
being intentional, is that what you said?
Yeah, you have to be intentional. Consistency with intentional. Yeah.
Um, how do you want to end this? What do you want? What would you like to say to people who don't know much about jujitsu and are interested in it? And what would you like to say to your community there at the academy?
Jiu-jitsu for people that haven't done it, man, there's so many schools now. When I was training, there were like just blue belts is what we heard of. I didn't even know there was black belts. Now there's black belts in every city. So my recommendation for people who want to try it, most of the schools, most of the good schools at least, are going to have free trial. I offer 1 day free trial. Some places offer like 30 days. Man, if you can get a 30-day free trial, I would take it up on that and just try all the schools and see what best fits, because not every school, every school is for everybody. You could
Hmm.
find the fit at one or the other. So I would try the free trial at each class and kind of go from there.
What would you like to say to your community there at the academy?
Yeah, at Black Tie, oh man, they're doing great. So they just got to keep up the work, and I appreciate them letting me be the coach.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much, Shane, for taking the time, dude. I really appreciate what you're doing. I know you
Thank
work hard at it, man. I can hear it in your voice and how you describe things. And yeah, thank you really a lot for telling your story, your personal story as well, man.
thank you, Cody. Appreciate you, Cody. Thank you, man.
Okay. Well, I'll talk to you soon, dude. I hope you have an awesome day, Shane.
Yes, sir. You do the same. Bye
All
bye.
right. See you, bud.
Yep.
Hey Kyle, how's it going, man?
Good, Cody. Nice to meet you, man.
Yeah, you as well, dude. Um, you having a good day so far? Where are you at? You're in Alabama, right?
Yeah, I'm in Prattville, Alabama, in my home office here.
Can you tell everybody where Prattville is
So
in Alabama?
yeah,
Yeah.
we're smack dab in the center of the state, right outside the capital of Montgomery. We're about 20 minutes north of Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So, tell me, can you tell me your first and last name, and then also the name of the gym and like its location? What you just said is Prattville,
Yeah.
but yeah, your first and last name, and then the name of the place.
My name is Kyle Atkinson, and I own Lighthouse Jiu Jitsu in Prattville, Alabama.
Cool. And then, tell us like, what are like the classes you guys offer? What are the classes you guys offer?
So
You have
primarily,
kids there?
yeah, we start at age 4 and work our way all the way up, and we have them broken down in the age groups. We have a littles class, 4 to 7-year-old, and then we have a bigs class, which is 8 to 15, and then obviously adult program. Primarily jujitsu. We have wrestling, we have heavy bags and striking, but we don't have an official striking class because there wasn't much interest, so we kind of put a hold on that for now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's there if, if people wanna play around,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Okay, okay. So, you basically have like 3, classes, 3 age groups, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct, and a wrestling class as well. Just once a week we do wrestling.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've met, well, one guy I know is really into putting certain things about wrestling into jujitsu. He sees the value in that.
Yeah.
Do you as well? Or-
Yeah, that's my style. I tried out for the Air Force wrestling team when I was still active duty, so, like, and I fought MMA professionally for a couple of years, so, like, my style is very top heavy, old school, jujitsu, like, with a heavy emphasis on wrestling, so even, like, my
Okay.
jujitsu classes, part of our warm up, every warm up is, like, hand fighting, standing, and a takedown, to start the lesson. We still do like traditional line drills where you're doing front rolls and like hip escapes and stuff, but I really wanted to incorporate it every day where we're doing some form of stand up because every fight starts standing. So
Yeah,
always
yeah.
in every warm up is some form of hand fighting, standing, or a takedown sequence.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. And that's exactly what he said as well. Like the stance to begin with, everything starts standing.
Yeah,
So that's the biggest value starting out, right?
yeah,
Yeah, because uh every fight starts standing, yeah.
yeah. I think a lot of
Um,
gyms kind of got away from that, the self defense aspect of it. A lot of gyms are starting to teach like, starting on the knees, which is okay for safety reasons and business wise, but like for like the essence of the art, self defense wise, like I feel like they've kind of gotten away from. And by they, I mean the majority of schools I've trained at over the last 20 years, I've noticed there's not very much takedown involved in the curriculum.
did there used to be a lot of takedown and then it kinda got away from that?
I,
Is that kind of
I've noticed,
your experience?
yeah, I've noticed an evolution. Like when I first started, we still started on the knees a little bit, but like throughout the years, I've trained at probably 30, 40 different schools, but got my
Oh, wow.
yeah, I've got my belts from 5 different professors, or every one of my belts and stripes were from different professors. Every one of them had different styles and emphasis, but throughout the years, more contemporary time schools that I've noticed, very little stand up at all. It's like a lot of guard play. Um, yeah, so I've noticed it kind of devolve, if you will, into this sport jujitsu realm versus what it really was meant to be, which was a self defense art.
Mhm, 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 mhm. Okay, okay. Okay, yeah. So that's very valuable. And getting all your belts from different places and training at so many different places, that's really, really cool, man.
Yeah,
You wanna start us from the beginning. How did you get into jujitsu? Were you really young or
no,
were you 3 years old?
I wish. I'm 40. I'll be 41 in 9 days. I started training in 2004 at my first duty station. When I enlisted in the Air Force, I got sent over to Ramstein, Germany, and I got introduced to jiu-jitsu there from a good friend of mine, Ramel Sia. And we started. It was like a jiu-jitsu club. It wasn't really formal. There was a black belt that was there teaching us, and I was just getting wrecked, and I loved it because I like hard stuff. So I was trying to replace like football. I played football my whole life growing up, and I was like, I need some kind of competitive thing that I could do still. So I found it there. Started training there. Had my first tournament like a month after I started training. Got wrecked. And I was like, I still love it. So I just stuck with it after there. You want me to
You
go
loved
through
it
this
because
whole
you were getting
timeline?
wrecked. Yeah.
You want me to go through the whole timeline?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So trained
If
Germany.
you want.
Germany, got wrecked there, first tournament, continued to train with that club. No formal training in a like quote unquote like jujitsu school. It was just in the base gym. We roll out wrestling mats and wrestle there. And then I moved to Korea. When I got to Korea, I linked up with a Muay Thai instructor off base in Korea and the Army Combatives program there on base. And they had a purple belt that was teaching there. So still no formal training really. Just kind of guys messing around in a club atmosphere, beating each other up. Had a couple smoker fights, kickboxing fights in Korea. And then I knew I wanted to fight like immediately after I started kickboxing and doing the combatives. I was like, this is what I want to do. So I put in for a guaranteed follow-on assignment to Las Vegas. Where else better than Las Vegas to get good at fighting and be in the mecca of MMA? So I went there, and that's when I met my first real jiu-jitsu instructor, Mika Sapili. He's pretty famous in the jiu-jitsu community. And then I started training jiu-jitsu there, really with the only reason to do that was to get good enough to defend takedowns and fight and be good at MMA. So did MMA for a couple years there, wasn't too great, had a 3-2 record, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Met my wife, had our first kid. I got deployed to Iraq. And when I got back, I was like, I really want to fight again. Like I took a year off. And then I had my last fight.
Let's pause 1 second.
Yeah.
What when you said I think you said you were in Korea and I think you said when you did kickboxing slash MMA, I don't know, when you were, hitting, um, so what about that made you did it some things like turn a page at that point? Like something clicked at that point because of that?
Yeah. I mean, I was like getting in trouble a lot when in the beginning of my career. I was a wild kid, man. I was getting in trouble, partying, and then when I found kickboxing and MMA, and like I was looking for something that was missing. Like after the football like career, all those aspirations were gone, and then I found MMA. Give me something to work to that wasn't self-destructive, like going out and partying and drinking all the time and doing all the things you do when you're young. So I found that. Had a couple.
So it was like the most like it was something that like made all that adrenaline go, right?
Yeah,
Like as much as possible, right?
yeah,
I mean,
100%.
freaking defending yourself
Yeah,
and fighting, yeah.
and I'm like an all or nothing type person. So like I was like all in the party scene, or I'm like I'm not drinking at all, and I'm all in on preparing and
Okay.
something else. And I need that adrenaline, and I'm a risk taker by nature, so I needed something to fill that void of like competitive and fix that adrenaline that I need. So when I did my first smoker, that rush that I had, and a smoker is like a kickboxing sparring match, basically, like
Okay.
a refereed match. So I had that first smoker, and that adrenaline rush was like nothing that I've ever felt in my life. I was like, I love this. I'm totally focused on
Okay.
this.
So that mentally something chemically switched
And
and it's like, "Oh, I'm getting that same adrenaline rush that I'm getting from other things. This
100%.
can replace it for sure."
Yeah, and it was
So
way more satisfying too, because it wasn't like an instant gratification of like going out and partying and that type of adrenaline dopamine that you get. It was like an earned dopamine. You know what I mean? I had to work very hard for it. I just like the whole process and journey of getting ready for a fight. It's addicting.
leading up to something such an important thing.
And
I don't wanna say life and death, but as close as you can,
yeah,
get. Um, and what about when you went to Las Vegas, why didn't you continue, like, into kickboxing or MMA? Why did you go into jujitsu? I think you hit on it where you wanted to, like, learn how to what did you say?
Well,
You wanted to learn how to like
I was always big into like watching UFC and stuff. I watched it all throughout my life. I remember watching the first UFCs with my brother on VHS, like all that stuff. And you Hoist Gracie, right? Like everybody knows Hoist Gracie. Anybody that doesn't even train knows who Hoist Gracie is. So I knew
Mhm.
that if I wanted to be successful in MMA, I had to learn jiu-jitsu. So it was a lot
Yeah.
out of like necessity for the fighting more than it was about the love for the art. That came after the fact, after I started doing it a little bit more seriously. Um, but yeah, I met Mika out in Vegas. And that's when I started getting a little bit more serious, but I still didn't even really put the gi on that much because I was doing it with the intent of getting good at jiu-jitsu for MMA, not for the art of jiu-jitsu. So I was rolling a lot, but no gi classes specifically. I did gi every once in a while, maybe like twice a month I would throw the gi on. So it took me a very long time to get a blue belt. I think I got my blue belt. Unofficially I started training '04. I got my blue belt in like 2009, maybe 2010.
Mhm.
Because I started taking it a little bit more serious, but even then I wasn't. I was just fighting and training that as like a supplement to my MMA training. Um,
Mm.
Yeah, so, I got the point.
And so everybody can understand this part. When you say you didn't put your gi on, were you like training MMA, but jujitsu was a part of that MMA training, and that's why you didn't have the gi on? That you're not taking specific jujitsu only classes. Is that what you mean by that?
No, I took jujitsu only classes, but they had no gi
Just no
classes.
gi.
Yeah, and you can't get promoted if all you do is no gi. Well, back in the day. Now they have like
Okay.
Bravo type 10th Planet schools where you could get promoted, which I don't agree with, but that's a whole nother tangent. Where you could get
Okay.
promoted to a black belt and you never really put on a gi. They're like promoting people with rash guards and shorts, and you're not even putting a gi on. So like I didn't even have the opportunity to promote because rarely would I wear the gi. You know what I mean? And then after investing all that time in the sport, I was like, all right, well, I want to get recognized for my skill because I was beating people way better than me. So I started
So
putting. Go ahead.
you're thinking MMA, and so that's why you're purposefully deciding to do no gi because you're thinking
Yeah,
MMA. I mean, that's what you're going to, towards.
exactly.
That's what you're training for. Yeah.
And it's a really immature mindset because, and this is a controversial take on this, but a lot of people think that wearing the gi makes you better at no gi and vice versa. To me, as a young athlete, I was like, no, that makes no sense. You practice how you fight. I'm going to wear no gi as much as possible so I don't build bad habits of relying on grips and whatever the case may be with the gi. So, as I gotten older, I do see the value in putting the gi on and the transferability to it for an MMA fight. Like there's parallels, even though you're wearing clothing when you're wearing a gi compared to an MMA fight where you're basically just in shorts. So.
Can you hit on one of those parallels? Maybe it's a lot of nuance there that is kind of hard to describe. Is there any way you can describe like at least one of those,
Yeah,
um, how it helps?
yeah, I mean, the stakes are higher in gi. If you make one mistake, there's so much more friction. If you mess up, you're stuck in a position. And then I think in no-gi, you get away with
Okay.
like making, you know, subtle mistakes in movement because you could recover much easier because there's a lot more slippage and sweat, and movement. So when you
Yeah.
start rolling gi a little bit more, you get a little bit more strategic and smart and sharp with your movements. So you're not
Mm.
making these fundamental flaws that you could recover from in no-gi because you're slippery and you're sweaty. So
Got
that's
it.
the
Got
biggest
it.
one for me.
Is there ways that no gi helps with gi?
Yeah, because you have to be really good positionally, with your body weight distribution and your grips because there's slippage. The opposite's true. So you have to like when you get a position, you really have to like hunker down on it, hold them in position and weather the storm because young athletic guys, especially as you get older, you realize it more and more. Young athletic guys, especially after the third, fourth minute when they're getting sweaty, if you don't have good body connection and pressure on them, they're able to, fight out of the position and then create a scramble, which when you get older, you don't want to be scrambling around with a 20-year-old wrestler. It's just not fun.
Their energy.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, calm
Yeah.
down, dude. I work a full-time job. I got 2 kids. Leave me alone.
Yes. All right, continue your story. I don't know where we left off. We
Oh yeah. So I got married.
Las Vegas and then
Yep, I got married. Realized that, to be a professional fighter, you have to be super selfish, and it just wasn't aligned with what I really want to accomplish in life. I want to be a good husband, good father, and I was starting to take my career a little bit more serious in the Air Force. So I was like, let me take a step back from this. I volunteered for a deployment. I went to Iraq for 6 months, and I got there and I was like, all right, I'm bored. I missed training. So I started a wrestling club in, in Iraq. I was with JSOX, the special operations group. So they had mats and everything, like everything at your disposal to train. So I trained the whole time I was over there. And when I got back, I was like, I'm taking a fight as soon as I get back. Cause I was training with people that were just like absolute mental monsters. And I felt like so much more confident after being on that deployment. It changed my whole life, that 6 months. Just the people you surround yourself with. And I can't go too deep into like what I was doing or who I was with, but it changed my whole perspective on life. Like if you want to chase something, you got to go after it. And I was like, I'm going to have one more fight. I just want to go out on a high note. So I came back, I trained for like 2-3 months. And I was like, all right, I'm taking this fight. So I took a fight up in Utah. I won in the first round, but let me rewind. The week before I got to the fight, I had a lot of anxiety. There was a phone interview, and when I did the phone interview for the radio station up there, I was nervous, but I was faking it, that I was confident, obviously. And then I talked to Nick after that. I was like, I don't think I want to do this. I've never backed out of anything before. I was considering backing out of my last pro fight. That's how nervous I was because I was just putting so much pressure on myself.
Okay.
Long story short, I went up there, knocked the guy out, and I was like, I'm never doing this again. Just I did not like the anxiety of it.
Maybe the pressure made you do good, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I was just like relieved after I knocked him out. I was like, all right, take a deep breath.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done with that. I don't ever have to do that again. So it was May
You
2012.
knocked him out fast to get it over
Yeah, I
with.
was
Be
like,
done with it.
get this over with. So yeah, I knocked him out, and then I was like, I'm done. I'm just gonna focus on jiu-jitsu. And I kind of, did it like hobbyist level for the last year I was in Vegas. Then I got tasked with a year deployment or a year short tour is what they call it in Kuwait. And then I was in Kuwait for a year, and I was like, well, there goes all my aspirations of ever fighting or competing again. That's a whole year off at, 29 years old in the peak of your athletic ability. But when we got there, lo and behold, I set up another jiu-jitsu club. I was sitting in or living in a Kuwait City hotel, Crown Plaza Hotel, downtown Kuwait City for a year, and they had a Taekwondo club upstairs. They had really thin puzzle mats. And I started going up there, just doing the Taekwondo class and making friends with the instructor. And then I told him that I do jiu-jitsu and I fought professionally and stuff. And we were striking sparring. And then he's like, dude, teach me some jiu-jitsu. One thing led to another. Then I had like 10, 15 people in my jiu-jitsu class. I was running twice a week. I was going to the Kuwait Judo Club in downtown Kuwait City. All this stuff, mind you, was totally illegal. I wasn't supposed to be leaving the hotel. I was supposed to go from the base to the hotel, and that was it. But I was taking like taxis on the low, going to the judo club in Kuwait City, training with the judo team out there in a jiu-jitsu club they had out there. And then I took a competition out there. I did a competition, won that. And then after that year was done, I came back, and that's when so that was 2013. We ended up getting a follow-on assignment to Hawaii, and that's when I really was like, all right, I'm in this all in on jiu-jitsu. Like I don't need to fight anymore. I'm going to be all in on jiu-jitsu. And then,
And so when you started teaching, was that the first time you were teaching jiu-jitsu?
yeah,
And what was that like for you? How did it make you feel? Did you love it at first, or did you grow to love it?
it was kind of like an imposter syndrome, honestly, because I was like, who am I? The sport was still young though, so you could like basically teach whatever, and everybody was like, whoa, that's mind blowing. Show them like a simple technique, and everybody be like, yeah, but still, like it took me a while to gain that confidence to realize, yeah, I'm pretty good at this, and like I should trust myself.
Okay.
but yeah, to answer your question, it was a little bit intimidating to teach people, not knowing if I'm teaching a black belt or not, because we weren't wearing gis. It was just all no-gi stuff.
You had no idea,
No
and
idea.
you still don't know.
No clue. But what really gave me confidence was a black belt in judo came to the club that I was teaching at, Crown Plaza Hotel, Kuwait City. He came in and we wrestled. We like had a couple stand up rounds and I was getting him, and he was like, "Dude, you're really good." And I'm like, "Thanks, man." He's like, "What belt are you?" I'm like, "I'm a white belt." Or no, I was a blue belt at the time. I was a blue belt at the time. And he's like, "Wow, really?"
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Thanks, man. I appreciate it." So he started flying all the way from Scotland. He was a Kuwaiti national, but he lived in Scotland. He would fly from Scotland and come train with me every couple months just to get some tough rounds with me. And I was like, all right, this guy is coming out here to train with me. This is a pretty big deal. So,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so that's when I started.
So they had starting to teach classes, and that, I mean, I'm sure that made you gave you confidence, enough confidence to lead up to. You said that at that point you wanted to stick with jujitsu. You wanted to do that for good, right? When you came back
Yeah,
to the States, is that what you were saying?
yeah, and that's when I started realizing I think I want to do this like for the rest of my life. Like I want to open a school and start sharing this art with other people. Excuse me. And then we went to Hawaii. We were on Oahu, and I met Rylan Lazaris. He's head coach for Max Holloway. So I signed up at his school. Before that, I signed up at a different school, and I didn't really like it, and I moved over to Rylan's school. And I was training with them, and I was still like, I thought I was done with MMA, but I saw them training, and I was like, let me try this out. Let me get back into sparring. And that was short lived. I sparred with Max Holloway, and he kneed me in the soloplex, and I was like, I don't ever want to spar again against this guy. He's just like a phenom. So he beat me up in one of our sparring matches, and it hurt my chest. And I was like, all right, man, I'm too old for this. I don't want to do this anymore. So then I totally dropped the gloves and just went straight to doing jujitsu, like as many days a week as I could, working 12-hour shifts, finding ways to get in there. So yeah, and my whole family was like bought into, like, my wife is, God bless her, she sacrificed so much to allow me to train, and facilitates that by taking care of the kids. But we would make time for the family, as well. I would bring my kid to the gym. We'd have him in his freaking car seat, sitting on the bench watching. Like she'd come in some days to watch,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And it was like, this is a family journey, really. Um, so
Yeah, right now my dad's watching my kids while my mom takes my grandma to her doctor's appointment where they just called just now.
yeah, it's a village, man.
Yeah, that's what you do. My kids are 3 and 9 right now.
Yeah,
So yeah, still in that phase.
I got a 16-year-old and a 9-year-old. They both train. They're both little savages too. My 16-year-old's actually up at a wrestling camp right now with a bunch of NCAA champs and stuff. He's got big aspirations, so kind of transferring,
Okay.
passing the torch to him, so to speak.
Mhm.
But yeah, and when I was in Hawaii, I started competing exclusively in jiu-jitsu, and I was having success, doing well. And then after that 3-year assignment, I got picked up to do recruiting duty. So I transferred from my original job in the Air Force to be a recruiter, and I went to Texas, and then Texas, San Antonio, Katy, Texas is where I ended up getting my recruiting assignment. And that's where I started training at Gracie Baja, Katy, and I was training with like Pedro Mourinho. There's a ton of big names there in the jiu-jitsu community that I was training with. And I just kept continuing to compete. And like the highlight of my jiu-jitsu journey was winning nationals, American nationals in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, so I've had some big wins and titles. I won Nagas and stuff like that, but it wasn't.
Can we pause right there?
Yeah.
And can you explain to people what that means? They might, some people might be in, and I don't know everything as well. What does that mean, nationals? Is that like a specific organization that puts that on?
Yeah.
And then you're saying MAGA, what, give us a little, insight into that, what that means.
So, IBJJF is like the regulatory body for jiu-jitsu. There's a lot of like conflicting views on that in the jiu-jitsu community. Some people think it's awesome. Some people are kind of anti-IBJJF, but everybody agrees that it is it's the top of all jiu-jitsu promotions. So nationals, there's a triple crown for jiu-jitsu. There's the nationals, there's worlds, which I'm going out to do in August, master worlds, which is for old guys like me and you. So we got nationals, worlds, and pants, and that's the triple crown. So if you win all three of those, that's a big deal. And as you get through higher ranks, to have competitors in your brackets, like you have to compete IBJJF. You're rarely going to have more than 1 or 2 competitors in your bracket. If you compete at NAGA, which is North American Grappling Association, like these smaller promotions, they're like, think of them as like, Bellator is to the UFC. IBJJF is the UFC of like grappling. IBJJF and ADCC, they're the 2 big ones. And all the other ones are kind of little feeders up to them. But you don't have to earn your way to compete in them. You could just sign up for the best one, if that makes sense. You don't have to like work your way up the promotions to get to those higher level grappling promotions.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. So I've done, I have medals, like I can't even count them all. I give them away now. But
is there weight classes?
Yeah, there's weight classes.
In jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, weight classes, age brackets, and belt brackets. So, you can imagine that pool gets a lot smaller as you get up to black belt. So you kind of have to go after the higher level promotions to get competition, if you actually want competition and not just get a cheap $5 medal, which is I want competition. I'm not going out there for the medal. So
Okay.
yeah.
Got it.
Where was I?
All right. Where were you? Yeah.
We're in Texas now.
Where were you? Yes.
All right. So Texas, competed a bunch, really got serious about opening the gym there. Started talking to people, reaching out to mentors, all my past professors that given me my belts. Ryland, by the way, Mika gave me my blue belt. Ryland gave me my purple belt. I got my brown belt from Chris Mango and Dracolino in Texas. And then when I got out to, we'll get there. So I'm at my brown belt now in Texas. I'm talking to all my past professors, getting advice on business plans. I'm starting to do Boots to Business, which is a program the Air Force offers to help entrepreneurs after they get out of the military. So I developed my business plan there, and then I just kept like doing iterations off of like things I saw in past schools, everywhere I visited, taking notes of things I liked things they did I liked, things that I saw that they did I didn't like, and just kept refining my business plan until I got the timing was right. Timing's everything. So after I left Texas, came into Alabama where I settled, started training with Rob Richardson. Great school. You should reach out to him too. He's a good guy. He owns a school.
Can you say the name one time? Write it down.
Robert Richardson.
Okay. I might have already. I'm not sure. But I got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you move to Alabama?
2021.
Why did you?
Why? That was
You're out of the Air Force at that point, right?
No, I had one more assignment.
Or you're making the transition. Okay, got it.
My last assignment, and as a flight chief out here in Alabama.
Got it.
I wasn't even really sure I was going to open a gym here. I thought we were going to move. And long story short, there's a lot of things that I like and a lot of things I don't like that people do in gyms. And I'm like, I wanted a place that felt more of a welcoming atmosphere for families. I noticed there's like a big barrier to entry to going into jiu-jitsu gyms. Even myself as a black belt, where I know I'm confident in my ability, walking into a gym, I won't say any names. I walked into a couple gyms in Florida near you, and I'll talk to you offline if it's the gym you're going to.
Sure.
And I felt intimidated. The energy is just thick. When you walk in, you're like, oh shit, these guys want to hurt me. Like you get that vibe in some schools you go into. And I don't think it should feel. I don't think it should feel like that. It should feel like, oh man, this is cool. I'm gonna get a workout. I'm gonna have fun. I'm gonna learn how to defend myself. And trust is the big thing when you walk into a gym, because you're literally letting somebody choke you. And what's saying that they don't continue to choke you when you tap? So you're trusting people to stop. All right, and I knew that most people, have 9 to 5s. They need their body to work, and they have families. They don't want to show up to something they're paying to do to get better at and leave injured, beat up, and discouraged. So that's when I really started going, all right, there's a need for this in the community. There's a way to get really, really good at jujitsu without feeling intimidated, just beat up every time you leave. So
Mm.
I started exploring rent leases in the area, and I talked to my business partner, Kedem, and I was like, dude, I like you. I really think you're good at jujitsu, and I want to bring you on board with this. I didn't need him. I just knew that it would be much easier, and the gym would be better with him and his family involved. So I brought him on board. And it
Mm.
happened really quick, man. Like it was like a conversation on
Mhm.
a Sunday with him to go over the partnership agreement and all that. And then I found the lease the next Friday. I was like, all right,
Mhm.
like we walked into it, the stars aligned. I was like, this is the place.
Well, I think having a partner, things move along faster, usually because, you just have somebody else and you feel more confident in business stuff, and you can make decisions faster a lot of times because you're getting that reassurance and ideas and that kinda thing really fast.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got the lease really fast?
Yeah. So,
Got it set up?
yeah, we got everything set up within like a week, got the lease, started building it out. All this learning on the fly, by the way. Like I'm asking people questions on how to
Sure.
lay mats down. Like I'm not very handy either. So I'm like, after my construction buddy, shout out to Hunter Bond, asking him, hey man, how do I secure boards to the floor? Like I don't even know how to do this type of
Yeah.
basic stuff. I'm like in there cutting angles. Like I don't know what I'm doing. So
You got your kid Elmer's glue in the from his book
there
bag.
was a team effort, man. There was all kinds of people helped. So it was a blessing to get it all set up. But one of the biggest things that we did, and like I was saying, is we want to make it welcoming. So like the biggest thing for me was making it kid friendly and family friendly. And so what we did was we made like a play area. We made a workout area too. So like busy parents, they could come in, drop their kid off, and they're not just like dropping them off and leaving or drop them off and sitting. Although we do have a
Mhm.
seating area where they could sit and work while their kids are doing. Like I just wanted them to be able to
Oh.
feel like they're not wasting time. I don't know how else to say that. Just
Oh, no, that's incredibly valuable. Yeah, as a parent that, has kids in jujitsu, yeah. Being able to I'm always working when they're there. I'm watching, but I'm working too on my phone, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we wanted like really to inspire healthy families. And then a happy accident of that vision was that now we have people that otherwise, like yourself, that probably would have never even thought about training. We have, I don't even know how many families that the entire family trains with us. Like they started with just
Mhm.
one kid training, then another kid trained, and now parents are training. We have like 4 or 5 families where there's like 6 family members and they all train. So they all come in, the kids will do their class, the parents will be, gossiping or doing whatever they're doing in the seating area, hanging out. Then the parents' class will start. The kids will be in the play area. We got a basketball hoop in the back. They'll be, causing
Oh.
ruckus. Yeah. We got like our neighbors coming over. Hey, the kids are turning the water on in our building, like throwing rocks. We're like, oh God, in the middle of like adults class. So I'll have to like send my wife out, like go talk to the lady, make peace. But it's cool, man. It's like it's the new third place. Like you don't have to go to a bar or church to get that camaraderie and bring your family and feel safe, a fun, safe place where, affordable, where you could come hang out with your family and do something productive, together. So that was really what the vision was. And it's a sight to see, man. It's not like any other gym I've ever been in. And I'm not just saying that obviously because it's my place, but it's cool, man. I get that from other people that visit the school as well.
A lot of places, a lot of academies say the same thing. They're really trying to make it really welcoming for families. And one thing is you're relatively young. You're 40, 41, or whatever you said, and you have that drive to be innovative, right?
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, it looks like a lot of places, jujitsu academies in general are moving in that direction.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder, like, what is it gonna be like in, like, let's say 20 years when big money when some of these places have huge money, what is it gonna look like? It's gonna look like a separate a room, a separate,
Yeah.
for people to hang out, maybe, because there's so much value in that. It's so much value in the families being able to train together. And like you said, like the parents have their places where they can do their thing, and then the kids have their places where they can do their thing when the parents are training.
Yeah, and that was like the biggest thing for me. It was like and you'll see it the more schools you visit. You walk in and it's like fold out chairs and mats. Like, and then you're paying $150, $200 a month for a membership. Like, where's the value in that? Like, you don't see it yet. Like, I get it. I've done it for years. The value is the jujitsu and the instruction. It takes a lot of effort to do that alone. But I figured like I could add a little bit more value, make it more of a place where you want to be versus a place I have to be to get better at jujitsu. And I think that makes it easier to show up, which is the number one thing to get you better at jujitsu. It's like just being consistent. So I wanted to take that barrier down for people where you walk in, and you're like, man, even if I don't train, if I'm hurt or something, I want to show up and just see the team and hang out because the atmosphere is just so fun to be in the gym. You know what I mean? It really does feel like a community. It doesn't feel like a place where I just go work out and I go home. You know what I mean? So I think we're hitting the
Yeah,
mark.
and that happens, naturally, the parents getting to know each other. It might take a couple of months, so they start talking, but it happens because the kids stay. It's a year-long thing,
Yeah.
and you become friends, become Facebook friends, and so it's really cool to be able to, yeah, have that atmosphere where they can, like, you can. I mean, what I'm saying is they inevitably start talking, and it becomes a community no matter because you're sitting there for 45 minutes to an hour or whatever, just watching your kids. You're sitting right next to people. So yeah, yeah, that's a cool thing to like um really push more or lean more into that atmosphere of a community.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of places that really you know what? I've seen most places have if they have if they go in that direction where they're trying to create a space for people, they're usually creating the space only for the parents. I mean, that of course, that makes sense,
Yeah.
but I don't see a lot that do, like, both. You say you have the basketball goals and all that stuff for the kids as well, so that's cool.
It was kind of out of a necessity
I have
too.
been places where they do that as well, but not I don't think to that extent. I haven't seen, like, a basketball.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of out of necessity too, because like the parents started training and I was like, we don't have enough things for the kids. We had the play area, but it was like geared like, like a gadget wall with like door locks and like a phone that they could play on. And I was like, dude, that's for like 4-year-olds. I was like, we need something for the big kids. I'm like, all right, buy a basketball hoop for out back. So now we got a basketball hoop out back. And it's just
So they can go outside and be outside. That's what you're saying. It's outside, of course.
yeah, and
Yeah.
then
Okay.
most of them hang outside, play basketball. We got kids coming inside. We got TV set up, they have video games they could play. So it's like a daycare almost. Like we wanted to make it fun for our kids too. That was the biggest motivator for me was to make sure I have a place where my kids love jujitsu. They fall in love with it, and it's not all about jujitsu. It's more about the camaraderie that you make and the memories that you make as you go. And the jujitsu is just like a consequence of being in the facility. But I didn't want the jujitsu to be kind of like a hindsight, right? It's the primary still, but it's like I'm tricking people into getting good at jujitsu by wanting to be at my facility. So there's a lot of effort put into the curriculum and it's very structured and it all kind of intertwines. We don't just throw techniques out like this is the move of the day. All of them connect. So I
Mm.
didn't want people I didn't want to compromise the jujitsu for the atmosphere and vice versa. And I've
Yeah.
seen that before too, where they call them McDojos, where you show up and it's like an instructor who's sloppy. You could tell they don't study the techniques still. They're not getting better at jujitsu still. They just kind of throw out techniques that they know. They don't match up. They don't all intertwine. But it's like a great atmosphere. Like you're like, oh, this is a great place. He's a good dude. I love being here. But they don't produce any champions. There's not like a good competition team. And that is not it at our school either. We've only been open a year. We have 33 people on our competition team. Um, we just went to a competition a couple months ago, I think October maybe. And we did well. We were in like the top 5 for a brand new team with like the least amount of competitors. I think we had 8 gold medals. So we're not compromising on the technical side either. We're just trying to make it a whole, you know, um, overall good gym, not just like we excel here, we're okay here. I want it to be, our average is just going to keep going higher and higher.
Mm-mm. And do you instruct all the classes, or
No,
do you have other instructors?
I do. So my business partner, Kedem, he's a purple belt. He teaches Mondays. I try to take Mondays off. But if there's like somebody that's getting promoted or something like that, or important, or somebody wants to see me, I show up a lot of Mondays. I'm a workaholic, so I try to take those off. But if I'm not there, Kedem runs the Monday classes. I do have a brown belt who's a high level competitor, Nick Brett. He helps me with the no-gi classes. So on Thursdays, I still attend, and I'm just an uke for him. And it's kind of like a mentorship too to help him. He wants to open a gym one day, so I'm giving him experience coaching. And he's phenomenal at coaching, so I love having him coach. It gives me a mental break from coaching one night. And other than that, we did have instructor that was here, Koa. He was a black belt. He came through for a military school because Maxwell Air Force's base is right here. We made quick friends. He was phenomenal at jiu-jitsu, so I had him fill in for me every couple, weeks. I'd have him cover a class for me or whatever the case might be, or I just randomly be like, "Hey, can you coach tonight? I need a mental break," and I would just be a student.
Mhm.
And yeah, shout out to Koa, love you, brother. And that guy's a absolute legend in the military community too. If you ever want to look him up, Koa Bailey. Um, but yeah, he helped me out for a few months. We've been really blessed, man. We just have like good people rolling through that I've asked for help. Another guy, I can't remember Kenji's last name. He's a brown belt. He came in to visit. He was here for a month. I let him guest instruct a night. So yeah, it's kind of like ad hoc. Whenever, I see somebody that's really good that I'm like, I respect their jujitsu, I'll ask them randomly just to guest instruct for me. But for the most part, I'm running the show.
Oh, man. Well, that's value in itself, that, getting new personalities, I mean, you never know how good of a teacher someone is until they start, and they don't know either, you know?
Yeah.
So that's cool. What's been you wanna, hit on, like, 1 or 2 of, like, the biggest challenges over this last year? What's been the biggest, like, struggle for you, like, owning the place?
Um,
What's been the hardest part?
Number one would probably be the curriculum, um, and not falling into the pitfall of what I said some instructors do, where they're just throwing techniques out because of lack of
Mhm.
preparation. I didn't realize it was gonna take me as much preparation to come up with a legit curriculum. And I'm OCD, so I spend, like, anywhere from 8 to 10 hours a week studying film and writing it out, and then developing a roadmap to teach this curriculum to our student base, which is almost all white belts. We have a few blue and purple. So I'm like having to really like get down granular level with the techniques and then progress our way through the curriculum. And by the time I get through that curriculum, I'm already working on the next one. So my brain is like cloudy with all kinds of techniques as I'm going through.
But that's just how you naturally work, yeah.
Yeah. So
You're doing that because that's just what you wanna do. You're not forcing yourself. But I understand, like, the challenge itself is to make sure you're not falling into that, um, yeah,
yeah,
focusing on one side and not the other.
yeah, so just making sure you got a val you're offering value, right? I'm big on that. If I pay somebody and I'm not, I always remember this is a service, right? Somebody's paying me, and I take that serious. So when I go out there, I can't do it in good conscience, knowing that I just half-heartedly prepared a curriculum, and I'm teaching these guys. They would know no better. Like they'd be like, okay, this is great, but
Sure,
I'll know.
sure.
So that'll bother me. So I just put a lot of pressure on myself to develop the curriculum, make sure it's up to my standard, and make sure I'm giving a good product to my students. And then
Mm,
the second big pitfall that or problem challenge that I'm reaching, and it's just started to show its face recently, is we're gonna have a high churn rate because we're in a military community. So by the nature of our
okay.
location, we just have people moving constantly. Yeah, so now I'm like, we got to replace those, right? We got to keep the lights on. So now I'm like, all right, I'm not only am I an instructor, I'm the marketing rep, sales rep, all these things.
Yeah.
So now we're like focusing on marketing and exposure and community involvement and all these things on top of me planning curriculum and teaching classes. So it's very challenging. We're looking into outsourcing, but we're so new that we don't have just, disposable income like that. So I'm trying to come up with creative ways to do it on the low end of cost wise to make sure that we're able to replace the student base and, keep the lights on.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you definitely went over like, what's the reason why people keep coming back and love the place. Do you want to hit on that one more time? If you just kind of had to sum it up in one statement.
Yeah, I think people train at Lighthouse Jiu Jitsu because it's a welcoming environment where you meet legit, authentic people, and you don't have to worry about your safety. It's a safe place
Mhm.
for your kids and family to train and have fun and get better at Jiu Jitsu.
Right, right. Cool, man. Man, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this today. What you're doing is really inspiring, actually. You have a lot of drive, into it. Yeah, a lot of motivation. I can see it. I really appreciate what you're doing, dude.
I appreciate you, man. I think thank you for the
Yeah,
opportunity and taking time out of your day to chat with me a little bit.
for sure, man. Okay, man. Well, I hope you have an awesome day. Get to your kid. I know he's calling, and we'll talk soon, buddy. Okay, I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You have
Thank
a
you
good
for
day.
your story.
Yes,
All
sir.
right, buddy.
All right. Take care.